YouTube, it's Ben 10,000 back again for another list video, Yu-Gi-Oh related. And today's list video is going to be top 5 cards you didn't know were superheroes. Most likely some of you might know these, but I don't think everyone will know all of these. So hopefully this will be a learning experience for all the Yu-Gi-Oh community who, who's maybe not into anything outside of the realm of Yu-Gi-Oh! So hopefully this will be enlightening for you. I'm hoping to bring together all the audiences with this video. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like and let me know that you enjoyed it in the comments below. Alright, let's begin with superhero number 1. Oh, real quick, I do have to warn you. The first two are a bit of a cop-out because I'm referring to the entire archetype for the first two. Just letting you guys know that's okay. I'm just letting you know ahead of time so you don't get confused or anything and leave a comment about it. Alright, so here we go. First one. Super Quantums. Okay, it may not be as obvious to some of you, but they are based on the Super Sentai out of Japan, or what we know here in the States as the Power Rangers. The Super Quantums are they very much match that type of superhero, as in they wear like the helmet and the armor, and then of course their Xyz monsters represent their Zords, as we have been known to call them here in the States. And yeah, we only have 3, which is kind of sad because all the real thing about Power Rangers and Super Sentai is they at least have a team of 5. But we got a team of 3, so I mean, we can take and work with whatever we want. Anyway, next one. Inzectors. Now this one's not widely as known. Inzectors are Kamen Riders. Now I have pictured Kamen Rider Dragon Knight because that's the Kamen Rider show that we got here in the States, but there are several iterations of this type of superhero. Saban, the people that did Power Rangers, also released a single superhero named Masked Rider. You can look him up on Google. He is a Kamen Rider, which actually common means masked, so they just translated it directly to English. But that's what the Inzector monsters are. They're Kamen Riders. They're based off of that kind of superhero. So yeah, I thought that was interesting that it's not a known fact that the Inzectors are actually superheroes. Alright, next one. Revendread Slayer. It's not very... this one is a little more new, so a lot more people probably knew this one. But he's based off of Spawn, who is actually never really intended to be a superhero. But the movie with the character Al Simmons had to make a character that was that people could stand to watch, basically, because Spawn's not a really good guy. The truth is, if you read a Spawn comic, he's a bigger sanctimonious asshat than he is in the movie. But we needed a character that wasn't as big of a jerk. So we got Al Simmons, and that's who I believe the Revendread Slayer is based off of Al Simmons' Spawn. He's very much, from what we can tell from the lore from the Revendreads artwork, I could gather is that the Revendread Slayer is a zombie who looked at a locket of himself when he was human, and this, I guess, turned on his cognitive function. Restoring his human thinking, and therefore turning him into a superhero. I don't know how that logic would work, but that seems to be what it is to me. But if you guys have a different storyline for the Revendread Slayer, please leave it in the comments below. Next one. Now this one is going to be a bit of a throwback for us Yu-Gi-Oh players who have old. Kaiba Man. Thanks to the new Duel Links game, we know that Kaiba Man is a superhero. And those of you who don't know, Kaiba Man was first shown in the GX series as a duel monster that chose to duel Jaden Yuki, the main protagonist of the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX series. What we didn't know at the time was that he's a superhero. which is very much fitting because Jaden, if you don't know, obviously, it plays things like elemental heroes, and he's a big hero player, and the Neospatians are actually kind of superhero-y. But it's interesting that Kaiba Man is a superhero, so with what I would assume his superpower would be to turn into a blue eyes white dragon. I'm basing that off the effect and Jaden's wording when a hero monster uses their effect, they're using their superpower, which I find amusing. The last one. This one is a very old card. We're talking like regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Before GX, before 5Ds. Heck, technically we're talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Before there was a card game to go with it. We're talking Season 0 here. Sabira of the Dark. Now, if you don't know, in the manga series, Yugi and the Pharaoh used to be a little bit more of a jerk with his death games. There is a kid who is obsessed with the Sabira superhero comic, so much so that his dad gives him a costume of it. Well, one night his dad pays these guys to dress up, or not to dress up, but to act like thugs, while his son is dressed up as Sabira. And of course, the kid, being that he's dressed up like a superhero and he's like really young, he thinks he's a superhero. So he jumps in dressed as Sabira. He beats up the bad guys, so to speak. You guys can't see me, but I'm making the quotation marks. So they pretend to get beat up. Well, later on, this kid sees him again, because he believes, he got to live the dream of being a superhero for a day, and not realizing that it was all acting, he found them again, dressed up as Sabira a second time, and then they proceeded to beat the crap out of him. Well, Yugi uses a death game to basically kill them, and teach the kid that it was all fake, and that they did it for money, etc. But there you go. There's some lore about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that you didn't know. Sabira the Dark is a superhero, which actually makes a lot more sense now that we've seen him in the Yugi structure decks. We now know, thanks to this manga, because I don't know if they ever did it in the anime, but I do know in the manga they had this story that I just told you. Now it makes a little more sense that this monster would be in Yugi's deck, in one of the original structure decks, because Sabira was a comic book that Yugi read in his manga. I'm telling you, Konami's missing out on some marketing here. They could make their own line of, superheroes based off of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game and just make up a story that goes with them. I'm sure some of us Yu-Gi-Oh! Players would read or watch that story. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content, please leave a like. Leave a comment down below for any kind of comment that you would like to see in the future. For any kind of content you would like to see in the future. Make sure you subscribe. I cannot stress this enough. Please subscribe to this channel. I can't thank you enough if you do that. I really want to bring content that my subscribers will enjoy, and it means a lot to me. So, again, please leave a like and a comment and subscribe. And if you stay here long enough, I'll show you links to some other videos that I've done that are really cool. And, yeah. I'm Ben 10,000 of YGO, and I'm signing off, guys. Peace.